Welcome back everyone. So today I'm going to showing you just simple trick when you're working with search. So for example, here we have the search country input field. When user typing, for example, India, normally what the beginner do is something like this. Create use effect and then put the search value inside the use effect dependency and then run the fetch data country in here and put the search value right here. So this will be run 5 times because user typing 5 character in here and the search value is run 5 times, right? So when user, for example, say like India, or let's do another country, I'm gonna say France, like so, it's going to be run this use effect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, right? So we don't need that happen. We need to, when user stop typing, for example, let's say hello, user stop typing, the use effect here will run. We need to know when user stop typing and then we run this use effect. So in this video, I'm going to showing you how to do that. So the first thing what we need to do, let's create the React application. I'm going to use Vite. So I'm going to copy this. Let's copy that because I'm using npm 7 plus. Let's do that. npm dash version. I'm using 8 version right here, so I can do this template. So I'm gonna copy that, paste that right here. And for the application name, I just want to say, let's say search example. And the template I'm gonna use, let's see here, I'm gonna use this React TypeScript here. So let's copy on that and paste that right here and hit enter. All right, it's done. So now let's open that inside Visual Studio Code. All right, so the first thing is let's open the app.tsx. I'm going to remove all this content inside in here. And I just want to put div, let's say app. Let's remove the use state. We don't really need that. And also I'm going to just remove all the index CSS and app CSS. All right, so now let's do npm run dev. Great. So now let's create the input here. So I'm going to do input. The type it should be text, it's okay. And also down here, I'm going to put a div. And this is going to be the result of the country. Let's save and let's open localhost 5173. This is what we have. I'm going to make it bigger. And here, let's open the network so you can see the response here. I'm going to use REST countries API, this one. I'm going to copy that and go back to VS Code. Let's create variable call, let's do URL, set equals to this link here. And this name here, it should become from the search value. So I'm going to remove that. And here I'm going to create state. I'm going to give a name search value, like so. Wait, search value, and then the value of this search value, it should be have type string, and also by default it should be empty string, like so. Nice. So now let's put the value inside this input. This is going to be search value, and also the on change event. We grab the event here, and I'm going to store the value into set search value into e.target.value, like so. And basically you can change the type here to search if you want. I believe we have search. Yep. So now let's take a look what we have. This is what we have. Okay, great. If I trying to console log the search value, of course we get all the value that we're typing inside the input here. Here we go. Nice. So now what we need to do is let's make a fetch request in this URL. So normally we put the use effect, right? We create the use effect in here, and this use effect have a dependency search value. So let's put search value here, like so. And inside this use effect, let's create function called fetch data. Set equals to, I'm going to use async await function here. So I'm going to do async and then a row function, like so. And inside in here, I'm going to use try and catch. This is normally you do when you fetch data, right? Inside the catch here, we grab the error. And then here, I just want to console log, or I'm going to console error, Let's do console error, the error, just like so. And inside this try here, I'm going to create variable called response. And in here, we are going to fetch the URL. So here, I'm going to say fetch. I'm going to use fetch. And then in here, I'm going to put the URL like so. Of course, we need to await here. Let's say await. I'm going to put URL and I'm going to say plus whatever the country we have from the search value, right? So let's put that like so. Great. So now here I'm going to say const data. We grab the response.json, just like that. So now, yep, we need to set the data here into the another state. So here I'm going to create state call search result, and then this search result have a type. I'm going to do country inside array. So let's create the country type. I'm going to use interface. So let's say interface country, and this is going to be have name, and inside the name I have command, and it's going to be string, and also down here I have CCA3. This is just come from the response of the API, like so. All right, so now I'm going to set search result into data. So let's put the data inside in here, just like that. So now we need to run the fetch data down here. Let's say fetch data like so. So now let's try to console log the search result. So I'm going to do console log search result. Let's take a look on the console here. So the first thing is we have page not found because this is going to be fetch the empty string name / empty, right? So of course, when I do A, it should be work. As you can see here, we have the, I think this is still pending or something. As you can see, the get request is okay. And as you can see, the response, there's a lot of response here. And of course, inside the console, we have 243 data. So the first thing is we need to check if the search value is empty. We don't need to run this function. So what we need to do here is before we run this try and catch, in here, I'm going to check first. I'm going to do if the search value dot trim. The trim here is going to be remove all the space. And if this is have an empty string, I just want to set the search result into empty array. And I want to just return nothing here. Just like that. So now when I refresh, it's not going to be fetched because now it's empty. So let's type in India. As you can see, every time I typing inside the input field, it's going to be make a get request. Imagine that when user typing a lot of things in this input search, this fetch here will get a lot of fetch, and then we get a lot of pending happen in here. And of course, it's not good for our application. So the better way to do that is we need to wait to know that when user stop typing, we fetch the just India. All right. So before we get the way how to do that, I just want to showing the result down here. So the application will look nice in the real application, right? So in here, I'm gonna do is let's map the result. So here I'm going to check first if the search result. Of course, we need to put inside curly braces. If we have the search result dot length, I'm going to render the search result dot map. I grab the individual item in here, and inside in here I'm going to render li, and I'm gonna put the item. Let's do item dot name dot command like so. If the search result dot length is not accessed, that means if something wrong happened, I just want to render empty string, just like so. So now let's try. So if I do, let's just clean this network. I do int dia like so. As you can see, the fetch happened for every single character. So now let's fix that. I'm going to use debounce. As you can see, this is really popular. And to install that, it's really simple. So let's do npm install use-debounce. Let's open the terminal. And here I'm going to say npm install use-debounce. To use that, it's also really simple. Let's start that again. Let's close this. And in here, I'm going to create variable call. The variable name, it should be inside an array. And I'm going to say debounce. The name, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to say debounce search input, like so. Set that equals to, let's say set equals to use-debounce, like so. It's going to become from use-debounce. And then in here, I'm going to put the search value. So let's say search value. And in here, as you can see, the delay should be number. It can be anything. I'm going to put 1000 milliseconds. This is basically just 1 second. All right. So now I'm going to just console log so you can see what really happened. So let's console log that. And here I'm going to open console. As you can see, when I typing, for example, in, as you can see, we just have in because we stop typing when we typing in, right? Oh, we get this warning. Let's fix that little quick. So let's go back to the li here. I'm going to put key set equals to, I'm going to say item dot, let's see, ca. All right. So let's clean that. And I'm going to remove this. Let's do India and I'm stop typing. And as you can see, I get just India in the console. That's really cool. So it can be any number that you want here, but normally I do 1000, which is 1 second. So let's put the debound search input as a dependency here. So I'm going to put it right here and also right here and also right here. So now let's try to see on the network. I'm going to refresh and see when I type in India, I stop typing and it's fetched just 1 time, which is great. So I'm going to remove that and let's try again. I'm going to do Indonesia. I've stopped typing and we get Indonesia. Great. That's it guys for this video. Hope this is helpful and see you in the next one.